All right, good afternoon to all. We're back here, just making sure that everything is set up for each and every individual. But today we'll be covering different aspects here, and as it pertains to kitchen remedies, I know we sent out the information in the WhatsApp group as well. So we do look forward to being able to share with you lots of value from what we'll be going through today. We'll be sharing some more advanced remedies that you can apply from home to be able to help with many of the common ailments that we have, right? And what we realize is that for many of you right now in your kitchens, maybe in your backyard, there are so many different foods, so many different items, right, that you can literally take advantage of to be able to essentially help in the restoration of your bodies, right? Now, if you look at my table here for a moment, I have several different things, and we'll cover more than what is on there too. But I have like right here, we have ginger. That is very powerful food there. I'm sure available in many locations. I have here a potato. We have grapefruit. We have some broccoli. We have some onion, carrot, garlic, lemon. There's apple, and we're in New York right now. It's called the Big Apple. So because there's lots of apple trees all over. Even on our property, we have about almost like 40 apple trees, and there's celery and many others. So what we'll be sharing now is how to be able to utilize those different food items to be able to help with our restoration. And so we'll be getting through some things, and as we go along, feel free to in the chat, in the comments, be able to like throw in your questions as well. We'll actually try to make it very interactive. I'll be trying to also answer maybe a lot of the questions that you may have as well. So that way we can be able to cover remedies together, right? We want to make it specific to those who are live, those who are on, give you the opportunity to ask as we go along in the comments starting off. Towards the end, we can be able to have like more of a verbal question and answer. But throughout, feel free to ask questions within the comments and within the chat, so that way we can be able to answer a lot of those. So let us begin. And as always, as we begin and as we start off, one of the things that we always do and implement is go to the great physician, in prayer, so that way he can continue to lead and guide us and to teach us how best we can take care of our bodies. So let's just pray together. Let's pray. Father in heaven, we thank you just so much for the opportunity to be able to learn of you. And I pray that you may be able to just help us in being able to apply those things to our lives, and that those who may be seeking restoration and healing right now, that you may be able to have them experience your divine touch upon their lives. In the name of Jesus, we pray. Amen. Amen. All right, great. So then what you want to do as well, for those who are on right now, feel free to go ahead and share with as many people as possible. Just grab that same link that you joined on, blast it out to people, whether it's on your social media, on WhatsApp, wherever it is. If you're on YouTube watching as well, feel free to share this video with many others, and also subscribe to stay updated with many more of our upcoming content as well. So today we'll be looking at remedies together and seeing how we can be able to apply some of those. And I do have someone behind me that will be within a system with demonstration aspect, not with demonstration, but I'll be doing demonstration on him. He's right over there. So we'll see how we can make use of him very soon and see how we can apply different things, right? To be able to assist. So then, we just have it here. So it will be very much practical for many of us, and seeing how we can apply maybe certain aspects. So what I'm going to start off with is what you call, eye health, how to be able to help with better eye health. So whether someone may essentially want to be able to do a general eye cleanser, right? Which is always great, as we are exposed to so much, so much every single day. Our eyes have so much strain that it goes through. There's so much toxicity. I mean, there's so much that it's exposed to every single day. So a general eye cleanser, or we'll also share a few remedies that you can do if you have like a pink eye, red eye, maybe even situations where you may have even like cataracts, right? Cataracts, or maybe a lot of your other eye conditions. We're going to share with you how you can be able to like work with that. Now, one of the things we're going to start off with, which is also very powerful, and it's something that is available to many locations, is that of lemon. Now, you can actually do a lemon eye drop. And lemon eye drops work very well for like, I've had an individual who was experiencing like some sort of a pink eye situation. And I had them do the lemons on a daily basis, and in a few days' time, they were able to fully, just fully overcome it. Where so it was something that they were struggling with for a while, and in a few days, a couple of days' time, they were able to like actually fully overcome it just with the lemon. We've had other individuals taking lemon where they were doing it because they had cataracts, right? This individual was taking it because he had cataracts, and then over time of utilizing it over and over again, what we actually noticed was that one time we saw like scales falling off that individual's like eyes, and it was going on to the face area when that was being applied. And when we looked even closer, we saw the cataract actually peeling off, right, in the eye area. So it's something that works very well too for cataracts. It works very good. And I'll be showing you how to be able to do it and how to be able to take that as well, how to be able to utilize lemon for it. So essentially, now, most people, of course, lemon does burn, it does sting. So, but I'll share with you how to be able to do it in two different main ways. So essentially what you want to do is go ahead and like cut your lemon. Now, I'm just going to be using the lemon itself right away, but something I really like that could work for many individuals, you can actually go to like the dollar store, grab like like an eyedropper or like a dropper bottle, not, something like almost like this, but not this flit enema, this is a flit enema. But get like a dropper bottle, even a tincture bottle, or something where you can easily drop it into your eyes, right? Then what you want to do is place it inside of that bottle so that you can be able to use it as eye drops. Now you don't need to do that because you do have lemon here that actually works very well. So then, for example, just to show you how we could do this here, let me see if I can actually make just a little bit of space, and I'll actually have our assistant here for today join us on this table for a moment, so that way you can get a more close-up view of what's going on. And mind you, he recently lost his legs hair because of diabetes. So you want to make sure you change your lifestyle, right? Make sure you change your lifestyle. Make sure you change, your diet and everything else, because those are the primary factors as to why people develop things like diabetes, and they end up having gangrene, end up having like lots of issues that requires amputation. But you can avoid that, right? But then, thankfully, let's just say this individual right here has cataract, or maybe they have like some sort of a red eye, red eye or irritation in the eye even, right? And you want to be able to help in cleansing, just a general eye cleanser, or to be able to help peel back those scales. Then what I'll do here is I will like give that person maybe some tissue to be able to hold, right? So that way they can essentially have that there for when they begin to tear up, because you will be tearing up. And what I'll go ahead and do is like lean back a little bit, and I'll go and I'll place one drop in each eye, right? So I'll just do it here. Let's see. One drop. Okay, so the drop is in the eye. And most times, of course, right after this, he'll probably close his eye, right? Because you feel the sting a little bit. But he's not closing his eye. He seems to be taking it very well. So if you want to know how it is, then just know that it's pretty easy. He's like same expression and everything like that, right? But let's see here. So we're going to do the other eye. You do one drop in this eye, then afterwards you do one drop in the other eye as well. We're going to do one drop here. All right. We did one drop. And I'm just going to wipe this, of course, because it's not real eyes right here. But typically you wouldn't wipe your eyeball. Just letting you know, you wouldn't be wiping your eyeball. So you would just close your eye. You can move it around a little bit. In a few seconds, the sting will begin to go away. For each person it's different. Let's just say maybe anywhere from like 10 to 60 seconds. You'll begin, that sting will be able to go away more. So essentially, what you want to do is just apply one drop of lemon in each eye, and you can do that on a daily basis, right? You can do that on a daily basis. Now, someone may probably say, okay, well, if it's someone just really cannot tolerate the direct lemon, then you can like dilute it very little. Just add like a drop of water, drop of lemon, Or if you have the tincture bottle, have like half lemon, half water in there, and you'll use that as well. But for most people, we've utilized it on, we've done one drop even directly. It works really well. And of course, you want to be able to do that, daily, do it consistently. But sometimes we do give ourselves breaks, or individuals breaks, from just taking the lemon into the eye. After a while, you can even like skip a day and so forth, or even alternate it, right? So some things that you can implement and do, one would be the lemon. Another option that works very well is like honey, right? So if you get even good honey like Manuka honey, but other types of honey could work as well. You may want to consider getting honey in your local area, or if Manuka honey, you can also take that honey, place one drop in each eye. Now, for someone with like cataracts, like I would say, let me just have him lay down for one moment. So someone with cataract, I would say, like even doing the honey and the lemon combo together could work very well, right? So what you want to do is essentially you want to do like honey in the evening before retiring, before going to bed. And also you can do the lemon in the morning, one drop in each eye whenever you do the applications. So sometimes you could take it consistently for a week, but have like breaks in between and continue on taking it again. So what we found that works very well in many different situations, many different eye problems. So we've even had individuals who were able to see, just get general eye vision, better vision from just doing that, right? That was able to see better. A few people with, they were actually able to see without even regular usage of their glasses after a certain period of time, right? And actually implementing it. We've seen that in a few people as well. And there are times when we go to locations and we implement the eye drop with some individuals, and they take out their glasses to do it. And then once they're done and they stand up, like they continue on and they continue on through the lecture and everything else, until later on we're like, oh, is this your glasses? And they're like, oh man, I didn't realize I didn't have my glasses on. I was reading and everything, right? But of course, it may not be dramatic that in that first experience for every single person or most people, but it does give results. So, but the thing is, as always, whenever we look at like remedies, natural remedies, and so on, you always want to make sure that you're consistent with whatever it is that you're doing, and that's the key factor we will always, keep mentioning over and over again. Because if you're not consistent, then you wouldn't really get the results that you will need, and in whatever remedy, whatever application, whatever it is that you're doing. And it's not just in remedies, just it's actually a principle in life. Like if you're consistent at anything, like you have a much better opportunity of succeeding at that by just that one principle. And especially when you apply it to your health and to your life, how much better will that be in helping you with longevity, health, and restoration? And I believe that's, God is willing to be able to assist us with that as well. So, and again, if you have any questions, feel free to mention in the chat. If you have any particular common ailments you do want me to touch on, to speak about, I can, do some of those throughout as well. However, I'll be moving along through different remedies as we go along, because we'll be looking at common ailments together and seeing some of the common things that people may be experiencing at home right now, and how we can begin to utilize what we may have in our kitchen or in our backyard to be able to help with those particular ailments that we have. Now, since we have lemon here already, I'm just going to mention something that is extremely good, that you can use lemon for as well. So like, for example, not only is it good for the eyes, but lemon is it's an astringent herb or food, right? And the great thing about it is that it works very well as a detoxifying agent. Now, it helps to detoxify as well, even topically over the skin area. So now, for example, a lot of times, a lot of individuals may want to have a glow, maybe, may want better skin, like, especially people who may be having lots of breakouts, lots of acne, maybe, you just want a better, like a skin sort of look and glow. Then considering natural types of facials could work very well. Now, one of the natural facials that you could do if ever like you're in the kitchen, you just squeeze out some lemon, you have a little bit of lemon remaining, then hey, why not do a lemon facial, right? So simply what you do is you just take that lemon, you know, you squeeze it a little bit for the juices. If it's already, the juice is already there, that's fine. Then you place it over and you rub it over the entire skin area. So of course, in that case, you'll just be avoiding the eyes. It wouldn't hurt if it goes in there, but you'll just be avoiding the eyes. Just go through the you sit on your face and begin to harden a little bit. You'll feel it tighten up, and so you'll feel that like you know your skin pulling together and tightening. All this helps with the you know, give that youthful feel and that youthful look, right? So if any of you want to be able to sort of reverse your age, right? You know, be able to decrease I think we lost our connection for a moment. So let me just make sure I can backtrack to what we were talking about last. But yeah, so what I was saying is that essentially what we want to do is ensure that you can leave it on for like 30 to 45 minutes or to 60 minutes, anywhere from there. And then afterwards, you can wash it out. You know, you wash it out. And once you wash it out, you know, you feel your skin, you'll notice it feels a lot smoother, right? It begins to feel softer, smoother, and you know it gives that extra glow. So I'm just mentioning that as well because lemon is also very powerful. It works exceptional for that. Now, something else I'll mention to you about lemon as well, again, just looking at the skin, another way that you can actually use it. Remember, lemon is a powerful detoxifying agent as well. Lemon works very good in even for cleaning agents, but then lemon really cuts a lot of the bacteria. So what that could do for you, for example, someone, you know, maybe someone is in a location where, oh man, I forgot my deodorant, or maybe I want to be able to use some other type of deodorant, right? Do you know lemon is also a natural deodorant? You can actually just take that same lemon and literally, of course, it's, you know, I do recommend like if you're using it every single day, sometimes because it's so strong, it could be cutting. But lemon actually works very well, you know, if you actually utilize that as a deodorant under your arm, just a little bit in each area, it actually cuts off a lot of the bacteria. And you know, in many individuals, you'll notice you'll go even way longer than a regular deodorant will keep you, you know, with lemon. So just wanted to mention and throw those things in there because just so you can understand the power of what lemon is actually able to do for you, right? I'm just gonna what lemon is actually able to do for you. So I'm gonna move on to some other ones. But there's so many more remedies that we can do with lemon, from like being able to do cleansing of the liver, you know, just you know, lemon for I mean, just so many other aspects and applications, you know, being able to utilize it to absorb a lot more of the iron, especially in things like your molasses and different aspects. But lemon is very exceptional and works very good for that. So now what I'm going to do is now be able to transition into some other food and show how we can be able to help in utilizing it, right? So for example, what I'm going to speak about right now, I'm going to look at this one here for a moment. We're going to look at potato, right? Now, I know last time in our previous video, we did cover some aspects about potato. So if you want to get some additional things, go back to the last video after this video. You can be able to learn more about it. But what I'm going to do for potato specifically, last time we spoke about potato for digestive health. And for any of you who missed it, we spoke about how you can be able to help with like if you have an ulcerative condition, peptic ulcer, maybe if you have like some sort of a you know, just any type of gastric issues going on, then potatoes work very exceptional for that, you know, so that's something we recommend it. But I'll also show you not only that, but how to use potato in other aspects because it's very anti-inflammatory. So what potato does, it relieves inflammation, right? It relieves inflammation. So what I'm going to share with you right now is how to be able to relieve inflammation in the rectal area. Now, of course, what that is called, what we know it's called, is hemorrhoids. And the reason why I'm mentioning hemorrhoids because every single person eats every day. And I know for a fact, a lot of times we don't eat as much fiber, we don't drink as much water, we don't engage in much exercise. And, especially if we have a stagnant lifestyle as well, then guess what? Your bowels will be moving a lot slower. And if the bowels are moving slower, if you're being constipated, then you have that um, eruption that is taking place around the bowel area with that thicker matter that is not coming out as freely. Or maybe if you go to the toilet and you're ready to defecate, but you're like putting that extra strain. If you have to like put that strain into using the restroom, you're constipated, right? So what we're going to share with you is because oftentimes with constipation, what comes with it is what you call hemorrhoids. And of course, you may know that by in the area, you may, if it's external, you may actually, someone could actually see it there. You may actually feel it when you're wiping and so forth. Hemorrhoid, the texture of it, or you may even see blood on your, toilet paper when you wipe, right? So you want to be aware of that. But we want to share with you, I want to share with you how to be able to utilize a potato to help eliminate hemorrhoids, right? To help eliminate hemorrhoids. And I'm going to share with you two things you could use because again, we're looking at lemon and also we're looking at potato. I'll actually share with you how to use both a lemon and also potato to help with that. Now, there's a young gentleman not too long ago that actually contacted us and he messaged me on Facebook or something like that. And he said, hey, I'm really backed up and I'm having really bad hemorrhoids. And I don't even think he could have sit properly, right? Sometimes the hemorrhoids, so difficult for you to sit and it's so uncomfortable and so forth. Then he said, hey, what can I do? Right? So I literally told him the exact things I'm about to show you right now. And he was able to implement it and, several days went by. Several days went by over a week. And then he was able to be like, man, like it's way better. And he feel like it's actually gone, right? He feel like it's gone. And those are many other individuals who've been able to utilize those remedies for to help with that. So I mean, our primary goal is to help you to avoid the hemorrhoids in the first place. But because again, the principle is true where it says prevention is better than cure. Why wait for you to develop an issue to be able to help with it, right? It's best to prevent it. And how do we prevent problems like that? Many of those aspects are lifestyle related. We prevent it through lifestyle means, through those lifestyle factors that could be able to impact and influence our biological frame and structure and how our body actually utilizes things and how our body operates and functions. So, and the most powerful lifestyle remedies that we've ever seen and that we've implemented over the years that we've seen to work over and over again with a myriad of conditions is none other than what we term to be the nature's laws of health. And we have that in a simple, what we utilize a simple acronym that is called God's plan. God's plan. God's plan, G, the godly trust. Of course, stress could actually constipate you, right? Just know that stress could constipate you to the point where you may not be actually using the restroom as much. And contrary, not using the restroom can actually make you very stressed. So it's very important, right? So we can have a free, easy moving bowels. It makes it very crucial and very important. And so one thing to consider is like, hey, if you're driving on the road down the freeway and you notice that someone is cutting you off and someone is having a bad day, they're telling you off on the road or whatever it is, like don't give in to that, right? Just think in your mind, oh, probably this person is constipated, that's why. And continue on with your day. Maybe they need to buy like an easy sweep. And none of you haven't gotten the easy sweepers yet or haven't done our cleansing, make sure you get our cleansing in the YouTube. We'll make sure we have that in the link in the description as well. Or you go to easyseries.com. We'll try to see how we can put it in the chat probably very soon. But make sure you grab our easy sweep or our entire cleansing program. I know many of you actually have done it. Some of you are actually doing it right now. I spoke to someone else today. They were 2 days remaining, and it's actually a great achievement, once you've gone through it, because I mean, it's a journey, it's a process, and but your body will actually thank you for that, right? So what I'm going to share right now is like how we can utilize this remedy here to be able to help with hemorrhoids. So I'm going to actually bring our friend back here so that we can be able to see something together. And we're going to utilize two different items. Anyone remember the items? Let me know in the chat. Just let me see. I just want to make sure you're listening. Let me know in the chat what items will we be using to help with the hemorrhoids, right? We mentioned it earlier, the two items. Just making sure you're all with me. We're all listening and we're all there together. And let's see how we can do this, right? So essentially what I'm going to do here, and I haven't seen it yet pop up in the chat, but um, hopefully you know what it is that we mentioned. I did mention it earlier, lemon and potatoes. All right, at least someone got it. Lemon and potatoes. Great. So then this is what we're going to do. Now, this will be inserted into the rectum area, but of course, you don't insert it like this, yeah, of course, right? So what we want to do is we want to cut this up into like a almost like a pinky size, right? Or like a French fry type of size. Is the only time when we allow you to cut up French fries and utilize it, right? It's a healthy way to do it there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this potato, and let's see here. And usually I have the my let's see here. I'll show it to you. I'm just cutting the potato into like a cube-like size. Let's see. Okay, if you notice right now, this is my potato. I'm cutting it all around so there's no outer skin part. And what I'm going to do is sort of like try to straighten it and to make it look more like a cube. And sometimes I'll take out the rough edges to the side just to allow it to enter in a lot easier. I'll like probably cut off the harsh edges to the corners, right? And of course, it could be different sizes, but this is an example, right? If you see this here, this is an example of it. So now the potato is already, it already has like some sort of a miscellaneous type of feel, slime and so forth, and moisture that allows it to easily slip into the rectal area. However, you can put additional help by also placing some olive oil over this, and it works very well. So what you want to do here is you go ahead and in the rectal area. So I think it's an area that most people have this part of the body, so that's fine. We can make sure everyone sees it. So in that area right here, what you want to do is go ahead, or after you put your olive oil, you go ahead and you slip it in. You slip it in until it enters all the way in. And of course, if you're doing this for someone, I advise you to use gloves. Unless you just got so close to your wife or your husband and you don't really want to use the gloves, it's up to you. I mean, but I still would advise you to use gloves. So we go ahead, you just slip it in, and as it goes right in, you'll essentially have that person utilize this overnight, right? You'll have this person, just basically have this in there overnight, and you implement that on a nightly basis. So implement on a nightly basis, and then if some of you worry about, oh, will it come out, or what will happen if I slip it in there? Well, this is not a place where you typically put things up, so it will come out, right? The body naturally will release it out. So by the next morning, once you actually use the restroom, it will come right out. So that works very well. So you want to utilize the potato for that. So that is for hemorrhoids. That is for hemorrhoids, as and of course, that rupture and inflammation around the rectal area, which works very well for a lot of the internal hemorrhoids, works very well for that. Now, another thing that we can implement and do here too, let's see that same individual. If I have him, let me see here. I'm just going to rest him on the table like this for now. All right, so another thing that we can do here for the hemorrhoids, and see how we can do it for lemon, is, let's say right here in the rectal area, you can actually get like some sort of um, like a napkin, some tissue, a paper towel or something, and you place it between the butt cheek, right? And of course, all those things. You want to use your gloves. Right now, I'm just, you know, next time I'll put the gloves for demonstration purposes. However, so that way no one does it. Sometimes, yeah, you want to use gloves in those areas. So then, so what you want to do is place it over the rectal area right here. And as you place it over the rectal area, you go ahead, you grab your lemon, and you will want to squeeze the lemon. And this part really helps with external hemorrhoids, right? So you want to squeeze the lemon over this area right here, over the napkin or that tissue, and the lemon will begin to the tissue there, or the napkin or the paper towel, it will begin to soak that lemon up, right? And as it soaks the lemon, you just want to go ahead and pull your underwear over it. Make sure it stays in there in the butt cheek area. And you pull up your nightgown, your whatever it is, your pajamas, and you go to bed. And you leave it on there as well. The astringent part of the lemon, what it does, it actually, an astringent is something that makes your lip like pucker, and lemon does that. And what it does is the lemon actually helps the inflammation to begin to recoil into itself, and to the point where that lemon decreases the inflammation and allows the hemorrhoid area, which is basically it inflame blood vessels as well over that area because of the abrasion and the rupturing of it through typically constipation, right? So the lemon will definitely uh, helping to decrease that inflammation and sort of like pulling back those hemorrhoids and getting rid of it. So those are two things that you can definitely use for it. One, you can be able to implement the potato. Two, you can actually implement the lemon. So let me see if we have answer some questions as we go along on those particular remedies that we're sharing there. I know someone says potato with olive oil. Yes, you can use the olive oil. What that does, the olive oil is simply used as a lubricant, right? Now, potato itself could actually sleep in it. It has that moisture already and so forth. But that extra lubricant, and especially sometimes for the men, if you put in that, if you're sticking something into the rectal area up, then you want to make sure you relax, right? Because you don't want to like cause more issues and try to force something in. You want to have that person to be relaxed. What I realize is it's easier for a lady to be more relaxed in doing this than for a man, right? So let me give extra tips for a man, or maybe for a lady that's extra tense, right? So if you're going to slip something up there, and that's we don't recommend men slipping anything else up in there, right? This is a sacred area, nothing else. But of course, for remedies, you want to help in restoring yourself and your bodies. That's why prevention is better than cure. I'd wish that no one would have to do this, but this is a part of the restorative process. So essentially, if for individuals out there who may be having a hard time putting it in, which is not typical case because most people who are tense have more issues. You want to just sort of try to relax, think of something pleasant, and just breathe. Like you just breathe in and you breathe out, and just try to relax. The more relaxed you are, the easier it is to be able to sleep anything up, whether it may be use putting an enema tip in there, whether it may be putting up a potato, whatever it is. The more relaxed you are, the better. So someone says, what about external hemorrhoids? Do you do the same? The lemon works very well for the external hemorrhoids. Yep, the lemon will work very well for that. So you can do that remedy. And then someone says normal white Irish potatoes. Yeah, you can do just regular Irish potatoes. This one is pretty big. I just, I cut up an entire, it's a big potato. This will last a long time. But yeah, just normal white Irish potatoes works very well, right? And you can be able to utilize that. If you don't have Irish potatoes available at that moment, any of the potatoes will actually work. But yeah, normal white Irish potatoes work. So someone is asking about this remedy, how many nights? So then the thing about this remedy is you want to be able to apply it until desired results. That's a key goal because every person is different and every person's stage of their hemorrhoids may be different, right? So there are people who has like so many, like so much hemorrhoids, right? Just so many piles in that area. Some may be less. So it really varies from person to person. The process of helping to restore it, eliminate it, might be a different time frame for each person. So continue to do it until desired results. So you continue to do this until desired results, right? So that's how you can utilize the lemon and potato, especially when it comes to things like hemorrhoids, right? Hemorrhoids. So we're going to look at some other things together and see how we can begin to implement this. And as we go along as well, for those who are live, we do want to consider maybe some of the things that you also may be experiencing at home, some common issues that you may want guidance and assistance with. So feel free to drop those questions and I'll be sharing some remedies on that. However, I'll be continuing on with different kitchen remedies and things that you can be able to do. For those who may be new here as well, I know higher up we did post our link for WhatsApp. We do want you to encourage you to join our WhatsApp community. In the WhatsApp community is an area where many could be able to communicate and speak, about natural remedies, everything natural remedies, and a lot of what we're covering and more. Each person, may give their personal, feedback there as well. But in the community beyond that, we also share with you a lot of resources that you can take advantage of, and many free resources that you can take advantage of as well within our chat. So you want to make sure that you're there in the WhatsApp chat. I think right now from this recording, we have maybe somewhere over like 600 individuals in the community. So again, continue to share it with many others as well. I believe that health is our greatest wealth, right? And I think it's something that everyone needs. And it's something that, we really need to cherish a lot more and to really take care of our bodies. Now, a lot of times we take care of our maybe vehicles quite often, maybe even every 3 months. We bring it for checkups. And sometimes our engine goes bad. I have a friend, her engine went bad, and she was being charged over 18,000 for it. So like, and how much money do we spend on our bodies, right, to take care of our health? That is something that we can't just buy another one and replace it. So again, let's really take care of our health, and it will, you'll thank yourself for doing that. Your body will thank you for doing that. So then we're going to continue on as well. Someone says, just can I get the link to join the WhatsApp? So we're going to see how we can share that link for you so that way you can join our WhatsApp community. And also you'll be able to stay updated with a lot of our, you'll be able to stay updated as well with a lot of our classes and whenever we go live. And just remember as well, every Sunday, 4 p.m., we will be here, we will be live. You do want to be able to share it with friends and family, even right now. Continue to share this link as well. So that way, I believe that you'll be utilized as a means to be able to potentially save lives, literally save lives, through the information that many are dying for, literally, and that we have available that we can all be able to utilize, right? Now, we're going to see something here together and see what we can be able to continue to do. I know someone says that I need remedies for seasonal allergies, please, right? Okay, great. So there are different remedies for that. So one thing for seasonal allergies, and that person, I do want to ask you, have you ever done a cleanse before? That would be great to know. Because one of the things that we realize is that allergies are a lot more aggravated when there's a greater amount of toxicity in the body, right? We notice this. We notice as we put individuals on a cleansing program, then those individuals are able to get lots of relief and tremendously lessening and even overcoming allergies, right? As long as they also remove the root causes that triggers it more. So one is doing a detox. That really helps, that major. If you haven't done a detox, we do recommend doing our entire 30-day cleanse kit. It's a powerful way to reset the body in 30 days, right? And, it's a powerful journey. I think everyone needs to at least experience that. We recommend individuals even cleansing at least once a year, right? And that alone will begin to help you. Another thing is eliminating those allergenic foods that are highly allergenic that actually would trigger it a lot more. So some of those foods, one of the most allergenic foods that you can find is really dairy. Now, dairy is a huge one, right? So if you really want to help in overcoming a lot of those allergies to dairy, is definitely something you want to consider eliminating and replacing it, right? Or substituting it for a lot more healthier options. So instead of cow's milk, you get maybe some almond milk or some other type of plant milk. Instead of your regular cheese, you can substitute it. Like you can literally actually make cheese from potatoes and carrots. Now, um, maybe if a lot of you ask about it in the WhatsApp group, we'll probably give you all the recipe for that as well. But there are so many options, right, of how we can be able to, get on those items. Now, some of the herbs that we would recommend for like allergies works exceptionally well. Two of the most powerful herbs that you can actually implement really and truly for any type of respiratory issues. Then you have what you call mullein and lobelia. Lobelia is exceptional for that. Mullein works really great. We up here in the northeast, we over in New York, you'll actually find a lot of mullein growing in the wild as well, which you can actually forage and use, but you can also get that online too, right? And mullein lobelia, we do have it in our formula. We have a formula called Easy Breathe, and that works really well. It's something that we've implemented for individuals with allergies, with asthma, asthmatic conditions, even for COVID-19, right? We utilize that. It work exceptional for that as well. So those are some things, and that you can sort of consider. That works really well. There's a lot more that we can mention here, but we give that as a start so you can begin to start implementing, making some changes, and seeing how that influence you. And definitely getting your hands on the Easy Breathe could be a great additional help and boost as well, right? For that, and even in the local area, like getting like your honey in the local area as well. That's also works very good as well. So let's see here as we move along. Let's see something here. I know someone says, do you have any remedies you can share for anti-gray hair, right? And remedy to help deal with free radicals and gray hair. So, um, you know, having gray hair is it's your honor. It means that you're getting wise, right? You're becoming wiser, right? That's what it is. But there are ways to actually slow that down, right? The aging process, and especially when it comes to your hair. A lot of times, if your hair, typically a lot of times, a lack of iron and zinc could actually trigger and be linked to a lot more early grain, right? Earlier grain of the hair. So there are ways that you can be able to help in slowing that down. Is essentially utilizing one of the things that is called blackstrap molasses. Have anyone heard of blackstrap molasses before? Right? Let me know in the chat. I'm sure a lot of you, majority of you, most of you have heard of it. But blackstrap molasses is very good for that. It has lots of different minerals in there that helps to actually, in many circumstances, but especially with the hair, it works exceptionally well. If you take it consistently, every single day, then you'll actually notice, it'll actually build up the body. And it's also very exceptional for people with low iron counts as well. It is very high in iron, so that works very well. Also, adding in zinc, whether that may be through pumpkin seeds or other forms, could work very well in actually helping with proper hair health. And for individuals who may not necessarily be worrying about gray hair, but you're worrying about bald head, right? A lot of times it's a lack of zinc as well that really triggers that very early for especially men. You'll get that a lot. So having increasing your zinc as well could definitely help. One of the things that you can actually do is combine both your pumpkin seed. You can blend it up together with your molasses, right? Pumpkin seed molasses, and I'll go ahead and I'll actually grab me a lemon and I'll squeeze that in there. Now, what it does is that pumpkin seed has high amounts of zinc in there. You have your blackstrap molasses, high amounts of iron, as well as many other essential minerals that really helps collectively. And to be able to help with more bioabsorption and availability of the different minerals, especially that of iron, you squeeze over your lemon, which has high amounts of your absorbic acids, your vitamin C in there. And what that will do is it will actually help your body to utilize a lot more of the iron that may be in those foods, right? And you implement that regularly, that will actually help. That's something that will help in slowing down that process of the grain. And even for the man who wants to avoid getting that bald patch too early, or even help with it will help naturally with your prostates too, right? that same remedy because again, zinc is something that affects that as well. So you want to keep those things in mind, right? And then you said, okay, what about a remedy for free radicals? So when it comes to free radicals, really and truly, any type of cleansing actually helps, right? So what's happened is that, especially when it comes to juices, like for example, you can juice things like apples, like you literally do apple juice. You can juice things like carrots, right? Or you can even juice like celery, which is extremely well. And what juicing does is when you juice, when you have a lot of organic compounds, like your foods being juiced, and as you consume that, as you drink it, your body naturally forces out the release of a lot of those free radicals to be eliminated from the body. That's what juicing does. It detoxifies those items, right? So that's something that we really recommend. And you know, apple juice is a very powerful one. It's apple is also one of your most highly oxygenated foods that you'll find on planet Earth, right? It works exceptionally well for that, and you know, it's great. It also has like things like um some level of malic acid, different items in there that actually helps in softening up a lot of stones, detoxifying your liver even more effectively as well. So apple, of course, you've heard the saying, an apple a day keeps the doctor away, right? There's actually some truth to that. Apple is actually a very powerful food, especially when it comes to juices. They even back, I remember an old herbalist did a study with dropping certain types of, I believe it was like certain like virus compounds within apple cider. And what he realized is that before it actually hit the bottom of it, those things were already dead, right? And that's how powerful apple is. So if you get a lot of fresh organic juices into the body, it works exceptionally great for that. One of the other powerful foods that you can actually juice to help get rid of those free radicals is actually carrots. Carrot works exceptionally well. It's, you know, really replenishes, you know, restores, rebuilds the blood, detoxifies the body, and so forth. And the key thing, of course, is not being able to you know, do things that will bring in more free radicals into the body, right? Prevention, as always, is better than cure. And you know, even stress could actually increase free radicals in your body. Just being stressed out. And so we want to consider like every single aspect. Eating a lot of hydrogenated oils, eating like a lot of fried foods, right? You know, just many other types of unhealthy practices can lead to more free radicals. So you definitely want to consider that. So we can be able to make a change, right? We can make a change. Now, someone else mentioned here, and I'm answering those questions as they go along because I want to make sure we apply to you. And then once it slows down, I'll share with you some more remedies here together of what we actually have right here, right? So someone else mentioned here as well. It says, I have a total body cleanse for a month now, but haven't started yet. Oh man, you have it for 1 month, you haven't started. Hopefully you can be able to start it off very soon, right? But someone, they're asking a question. They said, can I do the cleanse separate? Like every 2 weeks, I start a new cleanse. So I'm trying to understand. You see, oh, you mean like the 10 days? If you can do like, I know we break down the cleanse in 3 parts. It's 10 days each part. Part one, part two, part three. The first 10 days is the parasite cleansing. The second one is the colon and also the liver. The last one, you have your blood and you have your kidney cleansing there. If that's what you considering at doing it separate, uh, I mean, you can. I mean, the thing is, you mainly will be doing juices and so forth in the second stage, which is with the colon and the liver. So it's not as intense. Like let's say, for example, the first stage, besides from the taste of the parasite cleanse, but it's not really as intense until it gets to the second stage, maybe. Um, so I mean, doing it straight through could actually work very well. I mean, just get it off. But if it's the case that you have to break up each stage, yeah, I mean that could be done as well. That could be done as well. That's fine. I mean, when you do the second stage, just making sure you do that together. I mean, if you do it off right throughout, it just makes it a lot better. So it just makes it a lot easier. So yeah, that but it could be done, but it's just easier just to do it right through and just go ahead with it. Um, so then I know someone is asking for like natural probiotics, right? Natural probiotics. So again, one of the things when it comes to probiotics is this, right? I'm not sure if one of the key things is that our body produces a lot of bacteria that it needs, and but then oftentimes because of many damaging practices and so forth, we don't typically allow our body to thrive and produce the bacteria necessary to have a great digestive health, right? And but what we realize is that most people have very toxic digestive systems, especially when it comes to the entire colon area and so forth. It is highly toxic. That is actually preventing your body from making the necessary bacteria that could actually do its job more effectively. So, one of the first things we recommend is actually, again, especially the bowels, being able to cleanse it out. Cleanse it out. And sometimes people say, well, what if I cleanse the bowels? Wouldn't it take away like all my good bacteria? Well, majority of you don't even have good bacteria to begin with, right? That is why we do recommend cleansing, because when you actually get rid of a lot of those bad bacteria, then it's a better position to allow a lot of more healthier bacteria to actually be able to be repopulated. Now, of course, once you're actually able to do that and implement that, there are many things like, especially like prebiotics, that will actually help in the facilitation of more probiotics that you can be able to implement and do, like things like garlic as well, can actually work very well for that. And there's just so many aspects of what we can be able to implement and do, right? But then especially people, let's say most people with digestive issues, I know you also asking because you have a lot of digestive issues as well. So connecting the two of them, one of the powerful herbs that actually helps a lot more with those would be what you call slippery elm, right? Slippery elm. Slippery elm will work very well in those cases where someone maybe having an unhealthy gut area, an unhealthy digestive area. Slippery elm is also very miscellaneous. It coats the entire stomach as well, and it works very good for that. So, I mean, consuming a lot more prebiotics will help in the production of more probiotics. That really will help a lot more. Being able to detox the entire colon area so that way more could be actually repopulated into your entire into your entire body. So that is one of the key aspects we've noticed. Even people with like low blood like B12 levels, right? We had someone come to our center like very low B12 levels, and then we put them on a cleansing program. We work with them, and many people think, okay, well, after cleansing and all those enemas and washing those things out, that many people think, well, maybe their B12 levels would be a lot lower. But on the contrary, what's very interesting is that we've actually seen the B12 levels increasing, after being able to clean out the entire colon and the body. And that is a powerful thing about, yeah, that's a powerful thing about cleansing. Like, yeah, it's what we really recommend it. It's one of the initial stages, right? Initial stages to experiencing health and restoration. You have cleansing, 3 stages, right? Cleansing, rebuilding, then maintenance. And as you put your body through those 3 stages, you can be able to experience the powerful results that you need, right? You want to go through those 3 stages: cleansing always, rebuilding, implementing the other aspects and herbs and therapies and remedies to help with it. Then you want to also be able to and maintain it through proper dietary lifestyle factors. And so the CPM, you'll be make it depends on what form you get it in, right? You can make a tea out of that. So it all depends on what form you can get it in. If you get the cyprian bark, you'll actually do what you call decoction, and hopefully more time, maybe another time we can get more into how to the preparations of decoctions and different aspects. But I think that's a good note for me to mention though, because very soon I'm not sure, I'm sure some of you have heard of it. We've been mentioning the past classes, but we've had some issues with our registration, which is completely fixed right now. But very soon from now, we will be having a training, right? A gospel medical missionary training. That'll be for 10 days over in Brooklyn area. And that will be in May. Okay, that'll be starting in May. And we want every single one of you who are able to come out. We'd like you to be there, right? I think it would be an exceptional training. It would be a powerful one. And I believe things are, who knows? Who knows if that might be one of the last trainings. So we definitely want you to be a part of that. And So it will be a big one, and it will be a very exciting one as well. So we'll all be there, like we'll all be there, everyone from the center here as well. The center wouldn't be operating during that time frame because all of us will be down there to be able to be part and to educate and teach during that training. But for those who are unable to make it as well, you can also register online. So you see the link that was just sent with by Inga. Make sure you click that link right now. And you don't want to delay. We still have an early bird that is existing that will be ending shortly. But don't wait until the early bird ends or when it's close to the date. We recommend you registering, and we recommend you registering today. The reason why, of course, I mentioned out of sight, out of mind, you forget about it, and everything falls through the cracks. And I believe it's something that is very exceptional, powerful, that each one of you need to be there to experience that for yourself, to be able to go for the training, whether you may want to be doing it for yourself so that way you can help yourself with what you may be facing in your life right now, health-wise, whether maybe to help prevent, to overcome, or whether you want to be a means of serving others who may be ill, who may be suffering, and you want to be able to utilize that as a means to restoring fallen, sick humanity. I do recommend you just signing up for this training and signing up today, right? Again, it's a very minimal, it's like almost like half the amount, half the cost right now of what it will be after the early bird ends. So that's why we recommend you signing up and sign up today. There's several people who have already been signing up. The registration works. If you have tried registering before, try again, and hopefully you'll succeed this time because everything is working, everything is functional. So and also someone is asking to send the link in the WhatsApp. Will make sure we send that link in the WhatsApp as well. And if you're in New York, great. Be part of it in person. We want to be there, we want to see you, right? Even if you're a different location, you can fly in or you can be able to drive in. Come, bring your family, bring whoever it is, and let's have a great experience, a learning experience together. But if you're unable to travel, then we will be streaming everything online as well in a private area, so that way you can join in. So make sure that you can be a part of that. So now we're going to go back and share a few more, and what I'm going to do is actually open it up as well soon to like some more questions. But I know, I know for the CPM, someone was mentioning about how to be able to use a CPM. Essentially, if I mentioned, like, it depends on how you get it, what form you get it in. Usually when you buy it, you may get the instructions on it based upon the form you get it in. But if you get it in a bark form, like a CPM bark, then you can make a decoction out of it. Tea, a decoction, what that is essentially you place that in your pot. You have your water in your pot. You sort of like boil it. You boil your water, and then you simmer it on low for like 10 to 15 minutes with the herb in there. You simmer it on low. Then after you turn that off, and you're able to strain that tea and be able to drink it, right? So again, depending on what form you get it in, you may get instructions there as well on it. But you want to make what you call a decoction out of it. You want to make a decoction out of it. So yeah, so we have several different things, but I don't want to be able to like just speak on irrelevant things right now, especially for those online. I think it'd be relevant for anyone watching afterwards anyways. But for those online, what we're going to do is open it up for question and answers. We'll see if we can do 15 more minutes together, about 15 more minutes together of question and answers. And whatever it is, then we can be able to do that. So if you want to unmute yourself as well, feel free to do that. Unmute yourself, and we can be able to help in answering those questions together. So let's see here. Let me just make sure we all good. So yeah, so if you have any questions, feel free to unmute yourself, raise your virtual hand as well, and we will be able to get you in the order that it's received. Raise your virtual hand or leave a question in the chat. Either way works. So raise your virtual hand on Zoom. We'll be able to have you answer ask your questions, or you can also be able to leave your question in the chat as well. So let me see here. I think there was one a little earlier. So someone was asking her, what can be used to restore or help brain cell health, right? Brain cell health. So it all depends on like what condition of you're referring to when you say restore brain cell health. If it's just general memory you want to be able to like help with, or if it's something specific to like, let's say, um, I'm not sure exactly what scenario was a smoker a lot and it burned brain cells, then I mean, it is said that those brain cells that die, you can't really restore those. But at the same time, there are ways to preserve our brain and to be able to help with it. But it all depends on like what condition, like whether it may be Alzheimer condition, whether that may be just memory you want. But I'll mention several aspects. So I'm not sure the details that you're referring to specifically. But generally, I'm going to mention a general thing that could help anyone with brain health, memory, and so forth. And I know most people are very forgetful, right? And especially, it's easy to do that. One of the foods that helps very well with brain health, memory, and so forth are blueberries, right? Blueberries are exceptional. Actually, adding that to your daily regimen works very well for that. And in addition to blueberries, one of the great foods actually is water, or great items that you can use is water. The reason why is your brain is about 80 to 85% water, right? The more dehydrated you are, the worse off your brain health is, right? So you want to make sure that you can be able to uh, you can ensure that you can be able to utilize, like, let's say, just a proper amount of water every single day. Like, make sure you're hydrated, get proper hydration every single day. That will greatly and tremendously help. Now, there are other aspects I'm going to mention because I'm not sure the details of what's that the individual ask is referring to. But there are other things that helps with brain health, like especially when it comes to like different conditions like dementia type condition, Alzheimer's. You have like what you call like your caprylic acid, and a lot of that you can actually find in coconut as well. Coconut, and which you can even it's found even in the coconut oils too, certain coconut oils. But there are those that are high high in there. So you definitely want to go ahead and be able to, coconut actually works very good for that as well. Even the coconut oil could work very well for brain health in those particular conditions. Now, we do have other herbs and so forth that we use, but of course, the more context will actually help better for us to understand, more direct things that could be implemented. But to be able to continue on with the questions here. And if anyone have a verbal question, feel free to raise your virtual hand and I'll have you to speak. Or if you have a question that requires more background, you want to expound on it more, feel free to unmute yourselves because it will give more context to what you're asking. So we can answer that together. Now, someone else says, any remedies for insomnia, right? So if someone is having insomnia, where the inability to either fall asleep properly or may have a very difficult sleep pattern as well, there are several things that you can do to actually help with that, right? So, and with different individuals, you have to sort of test things out to see what works even better for you in your particular scenario. So, for example, we'll start off first with simple things and we'll go to some other areas that we can be able to utilize. So, for example, here, let's say for insomnia, one thing is being able to be active through the day. Now, as simple as it is, it actually works. The Bible gives a principle. It says the sleep of a laboring man is sweet, right? Someone who labors, they're engaged in some sort of physical activity. And one thing that could be done is exercise. And you want to see what works best for you, whether it may be exercising later, like towards the evening time or earlier, like what works best. Because for some people, it will keep them up. For some people, it actually work to help them sleep better. That's one, right? Exercise routine, that works, right? Another thing that you want to implement is that you can actually do is what you call a lukewarm bath, right? Or tepid bath. So with a lukewarm bath, you want to do that, let's say on evenings, you want to like fill your tub with warm water and you just want to stay in that warm water for like even up to like an hour. Something it's just very relaxing, very calmative. If you want, you can put on some nice instrumental music, just so that way to begin to calm the mind. So all that help. And what I'll suggest as well, and you can add in there is like a couple like cups, right, of Epsom salt, right? So you can get Epsom salt, add a couple cups to that water as well, and you can soak in that. The reason why you want to add that Epsom salt too is because Epsom salt is actually high in magnesium as well. And magnesium also definitely helps with relaxing the nerves and naturally helps you to sleep better. So that's why even sometimes there's like uh certain like supplementations like with magnesium or CalMag, like calcium, magnesium, and different things that individuals have seen working well for them, who may have insomnia as well when they take it in, because the magnesium actually helps in making you a lot calmer and helping you with that as well. So magnesium is definitely helps with that too. And then of course you do have several different herbs that you can implement and sort of test out, from milder ones to chamomile, which doesn't really work for every single person, but you can actually still test it out for you. To other ones, like you have like hops tea, you have like catnip tea. There are other ones that you can sort of implement and test out and see what works better for you. I mean, there are herbs that we've been able to utilize and we can literally put anyone to sleep, right? I mean, we've seen a lot of people, it will knock you out. So, but then, yeah. So sort of implement that and see how that works along with you. So now I know like we have a hand here. Let's see how we can take that hand. So Naomi, if you can go ahead and unmute yourself, and you can go ahead and ask your question.
Yes, thank you so much for the information. My question is that how can you help with someone who has winning in the ear?
You said winding in the air.
No, tendinitis.
Oh, tendinitis. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So no, definitely. So yeah. So they're different. And again, like with that person, did what would you say? How long have they have it for? Have they had it for?
It's on and off, but sometimes it's louder at night.
Okay, you have it loud at nights, and I
Yes.
mean, for how long has it been existing with that
About,
person?
about 2 months or so.
About 2 months. And what would you say was like a trigger there 2 months ago?
So we don't know. It could be the gut. He has a digestion problem. So we don't know exactly what caused it, but it's really tormenting.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. No, definitely. All right. It's a good question there. So what there are general things I'll just mention here. There are general things, let's say, that could be sort of implemented and done. But sometimes certain contexts is help a lot more. Like for example, we do have what you call, we have like a nerve air tincture as well that we actually implement too, where we do like 4 drops in each. But then there are additional things that we sort of implement and do. It all depends on like particular situations. So what would be good is like there may be like more, probably more like additional questions I'll just see to see maybe what may be the best direction to actually help with individuals like that. But yeah, there are things that could be done to assist and to alleviate with those conditions. There's several things that could be done, but it'd be good to sort of understand more. What I'll say too is like even on the WhatsApp, just reach out to me, give me some information there too, and I can actually be able to talk to you. You'll see me in the group maybe, and I can be able to respond to you with maybe some additional things that you can actually do, and something that maybe we have utilized as well to help with individuals like that. Then I can share more based upon, I guess, some more information there. I know someone is saying continuing in brain health, specifically dementia. Yeah. So yeah, so for dementia, I did mention like there's several different things. Of course, with dementia, you do want to do like heavy metal detoxing. That will definitely help as well. So like for example, a lot of times we may even we do baths, and we put people in also clay baths, right? So if you do like a clay bath, similar to how I mentioned earlier, but instead of the Epsom salt, which you can do Epsom salt too, but we also put like clay in there. And sometimes we like using French green clay. It has a very good absorptive properties. And what you'll notice is that when you actually use clay in the bath, that can actually help in relieving and removing heavy metals from someone's body, right? So anyone who have had like, because that's one aspect that could impact, of course, the neurological function, is that aspect. So doing that definitely helps. Also, in addition to that, we did mention like the coconut oil definitely assists as well with that, doing the coconut oil with it as well. And we do have like brain booster formulas that we've actually implemented. And within some of that, you do have things like your ginkgo in there as well that works exceptionally well. And essentially moving someone for better brain health, the more the more fatty foods people eat, then the more it impacts people negatively on the neurological aspect and the brain health as well. Do you know that eating more fats could actually make you even more prone to depression? But it really impacts, the main thing I mentioned, it really impacts, your entire brain health and function. So someone with dementia, who may be eating animal fats, it will definitely be counterintuitive in assisting them in the process. So we do recommend those people as well, even transitioning more to a more wholesome plant-based diet. That will definitely help out a lot more. And let's see here. We do have a question from Kevin. If you can go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hey, brother Ezra, I was having some problems with worms. My my booty was itchy, and
Yeah.
I tried things I knew.
Okay.
I also made commissionary training in Mexico. So when you say clay, you really made me happy. That's the technique
Yeah.
we use in South of Mexico. We don't use. We have a lot of clay, so we use it in abundance.
Yeah.
Um, so I was having problems with worms, and I tried a couple things. And then I was like, I need something special from a specialist. So I contacted you guys
Yeah.
and got um, probably that one. And there was a method to follow in the back of there were instructions, I think. I'm probably right. You put the instructions on the thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I follow it, and it was like the cleanse was like what like a month, like the
Okay.
one that I bought, and it took
Yes.
like a week, and I was clean. Um,
Okay, that's
and
nice.
and I was clean, and that thing is so powerful that the guys at where I live with Emram, here in Queens, they were like, we took it, and it was enough one day,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and but it took me a week. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, what's going on, man? I'm eating so much garlic, and
Yeah.
but
Yeah. Yeah.
I was working in Manhattan. It's super dirty, and I was using bathrooms, and my body needed a cleansing. But from there on, I didn't need it. I just use garlic. Careful. I clean the seats. Water
Yeah.
makes
Definitely.
things clean. Biblically, even speaking, water. You need water to make yourself clean. Biblically
Yeah.
speaking, cleaning. And but my question is, I've been dealing with a lot of asbestos. So I don't know if asbestos is
Okay.
a metal. It wouldn't be a
Yeah.
heavy metal, at least. It's a light
Yeah.
material. It is very volatile. It's very light, super light, that it
Yeah. Well,
can be on the
definitely.
air for long periods of time. So
Yeah.
I do construction, and it does a special kind of job, and I don't have the 40 extra hours of certification, but I am a supervisor for OSHA. And so I decided to do it with my friend carefully. We did the research, and we tried to find a loophole in the law to do it. And I did find one. I sent it to him, and he's like, "Yeah, it's all right. Let's do it." And we did it
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
a lot of carefulness, right? Super careful. We should have been more careful though, because um, I was only doing it for 5 hours a day, and I was getting
Yeah. Definitely.
exhausted because of all the PPE. And so I would take my mask sometimes inside of the contaminated zone when I had already
Yeah.
sprayed water on the asbestos. I would take it off because I was like, I just can't, because my nose, I got chronic sinusitis, so my nose is not functional 100%. So those are my two questions. What can I take to maybe
Yeah.
clean my body from? Because I feel
Okay.
weak after
Well,
dealing
definitely.
with this.
Definitely.
And my nose,
Yeah. No.
like,
Good
do I
question.
have
Good
to break
question.
it?
And yeah. Yeah. Good question. And asbestos definitely is a very yeah, very terrible thing to work with. I'm telling you, it's like that's why they no longer utilize it in modern, construction. Because I mean, there are several studies that was done on how long it actually stays in the respiratory tract when it's actually inhaled, and it's best just not to inhale it. But at the same time, if you have already inhaled that, right, then several things I'll probably do in that situation is one thing I'll do is like, let's say charcoal. You don't want to like taking. I'll still taking charcoal regularly to help with binding whatever it could bind to and absorb whatever it can absorb through the body. But also in addition to that, I mean, if you can get the easy breathe, I think that will also be very well, especially for the respiratory aspects. The easy breathe will actually help in just the entire condition of asbestos. Because there's one time I did actually get to inhale some of that asbestos as well, and I had to do some things to actually help to clean my body out of that. But doing the either drinking, actually drinking, you can actually drink, like, let's say, the clay, right? You can drink clay, or you can actually drink charcoal as well. Those will actually help. You can do like a tablespoon of like either or into like a cup of water. And even do that for like a certain period of time, like even like up to like 7 days. And then take in the easy breathe as well. If you can get at your hands on a easy breathe, I think that'll definitely help. It has like several different components in there, especially for the respiratory aspect, to be able to assist more with that. So those are like sort of two things I'll say, sort of starting with. And really, I'm not sure, do you if you have to keep working in that setting of doing that, but it definitely will take a toll on the body. It can make you feel very tired, lethargic, and yeah, if that was just a one-time project, I hope it was a one-time project. But if that's an everyday thing, yeah, it's pretty tough thing there. But yeah, start off with those, like the clays, charcoal, and also the easy breathe. I think those could definitely assist more. Yeah.
Brother, just
So
a last
go ahead.
question.
Go ahead.
You talking about Easy Breeze? I don't know what is that. Is that a product you carry?
Yeah. So yeah, easy breathe is a product we have. I see someone yeah. So Inga put a link there for the booster kit. I think it has an easy breathe in there and some other items. Yeah, but the easy breathe, that will definitely help with yeah, the respiratory aspects there, the asbestos that have entered into the lungs. And as best as possible, prevention is always better than cure, but hey, it's there, so we got to do something about it. So you want to just implement that rigorously every single day. Do that easy breathe 2 to 3 times a day, like 2 to 3 times a day. You want to do that rigorously and be able to take in either like the charcoal or clay. You can drink that down as well. You don't want to do the charcoal and clay for an excessive period of time, because it could bind and constipate, right, over time, because it binds. Make sure you drink lots of water as you do that as well, right? That will definitely help. Great. But go ahead. You have one more question?
One more thing. Talking about the loophole, there is a law in New York State about abatement of harmful materials, that the living owner is able to do it. The living owner is allowed to do it. So that's a loophole we used. I live with my brother here sometimes, so he did it, and I help him.
I
That's
see.
so I don't get in trouble with the law.
Yeah.
Okay, my
Okay.
brother.
Okay. I appreciate it. Appreciate it so much. Okay. So also we have the hand here from Joyce. You can go ahead and unmute yourself.
Yes, good afternoon. I just wanted to
Yeah.
ask if the same method goes for Alzheimer's as well,
Yeah. When you say
with
the same
dementia.
method, which mixture, which method?
Now you speak about the dementia, so I want to know if Alzheimer's, because I realized that
Oh yeah, yeah, that's correct. That's correct. Yeah, so very similarly, yeah, those could typically be worked with very for the most part, in a general sense, very similar protocols. So yeah, so what I mentioned earlier about it could also work for both the Alzheimer's and also the dementia. And especially to a lot of people with those conditions also may have even a lot more mercury as well. And you do get a lot of mercury from many different aspects, and even a lot through ocean, fish and so forth. You do get a lot there. But yeah, the heavy metals detox definitely help. The other aspects we mentioned, you can utilize it for both.
um one last thing. You ever heard about the mushroom lion? Is that
You say
um
mushroom iron?
no, it's named mushroom, but it's a mushroom, but its name is lion, I think. Yeah.
Oh, lion's mane.
Yes, lion's mane. That's right. But I
Yeah.
know, well, I know that, well, as a Seventh Adventist, I think that I've heard that mushroom is, well, it's a fungus, then it's not, but if you use it medically, it it's different.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
ever treat anyone with that and get results,
If I,
or you never use
if
that
I treat them with lion's mane, if we use lion's mane
before?
in the protocol.
Yeah.
Okay, for what specific, is it for a specific condition or in
For
general? If we've used it in
for no
general
for
or for
for
specific?
for memory, for Alzheimer's and stuff
Oh,
like
okay,
that.
understood. Yeah. So I mean, for the most part, like for example, we have different formulations, like brain boosters and herbal formulas and so forth that we utilize for like brain health, Alzheimer's, and so on. So we don't like in our regular protocol for it, we don't utilize the lion's mane in there. But we do have a lot more other types of like herbal items and supplementations and various other components that helps with it. Like,
Oh,
we
so
have an entire protocol just for that.
you do have a protocol for that. Okay. And how do you
Yeah,
get it?
yeah,
How would you able to get that protocol? Is it
yeah. No, definitely. So right now, like let's say, I mean, a lot we have like the generic information, but at the same time, at the moment it's more like in specific, we more like specify based upon each individual. So we have general things that may be implemented because it's all very similar, but also there may be certain specific things that may be applied for particular cases. So it all
mhm,
depends. If there is like someone suffering with like let's say dementia that you want to get that assistance with in having them do a protocol at home,
right?
then you can always go to edenniceathome.org and sign up for our Heal at Home program. If you
Mm-hmm.
want general information, I mean, we can probably send us an email and we can see what we can share if you has generic, something generic. But if you want something more tailored to that particular individual, then you can always go to edenniceathome.org and we can be able to like sort of put together an entire at-home protocol that that person can actually implement from home.
Okay, thanks very much.
Yeah, no problem, no problem.
Okay.
And in addition to that, I just mentioned for everyone as well, if anyone not only wants to do an at-home program, idonatahome.org, you can actually come to our center. We did end the session today. We had a health session going on for 2 weeks at the center. We had people coming in from different locations. We had people from New York and also from Canada and so forth. That was in this health session. So if ever you or someone else wants to be able to come, maybe just for a cleanse and a detox, maybe for a particular health condition, you have a chronic condition or something more terminal, right? Then you can be able to come in for 7, 14 days and so on, where we can help we can help you. And next month we'll be having our next session, which is soon from now because we're in March, about to head into April. We'll be having our next session in April as well. So make sure that you can register. If you want to register for that, go to edenlifestyleHome.org and you want to be able to register for that right now. Just register on the website. Once you get there, you select I want an e-packet. You basically sign up for an e-packet and we'll share with you all the information that you'll need to be able to know about the session to prepare you for that. So that way you can see what dates you may want to be able to join in here, right, for health sessions. So then, okay, so I think that's about it right now. I know we'll just wind down here and we'll just wind down here. I know we have several other questions. This is what we want to do is if we can save questions, let's say for next week, that'd be great. And then what we can do is be able to answer a lot more next week. We'll be covering a lot more remedies, different aspects, and then hopefully answering a lot more questions. So if you have questions throughout the week, write it down, come ready with your questions. So that way we can be able to answer that together and that we can be able to just continue to learn and apply those things together, right? Apply those things together in our lives. And so what you want to do as well is go ahead. I know earlier we shared the link for the training that we'll be doing in New York City in Brooklyn area in May. So you do want to join that. It's a 10-day training. It starts from like I think 10 in the morning all the way to 5 in the evening. Full day training so that way you can be able to get that in-person training experience, right? And you want to register right now, register today. We're going to make sure we send you that link in the WhatsApp as well. But at the same time, you do want to, I mean, we sent that link earlier as well in the chat. You do want to be able to, register. If anyone wants to be able to reach us, feel free to email us at info@edenlifestyle.org, info@edenlifestyle.org, or you can give us a call, 844-433-3654. And if you're able to reach us, leave a voicemail, we'll be able to help in reaching back out to you. But that's 844-433-3654. And we really look forward to assisting many of you and also seeing you next week. If any of you are on YouTube right now, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can join the community. Go back and watch the other videos as well so you can continue to learn and share it as well with many others. So we'll also share with you the replay on the WhatsApp so you can get access to that. And you can be able to share it with other family and friends that may be blessed by that information. So before we end off, let's consult one more time the great physician that he can be able to continue to help us in applying those things that we can get the relief that we need. Let us pray together. Father in heaven, we just thank you so much for the opportunity to learn how we can apply simple things to our lives and how we can educate ourselves and to in better health and better life. Teach us your ways, guide us and direct us. In the name of Jesus we pray. Amen. So again, thank you so much for joining on again, and we look forward to seeing you next week and same time, Sunday, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until then, you have a wonderful rest of your day. All right, have a good one.